Well, hello YouTube types. This is Timmy, amateur portrait photographer, fan of all old-fashioned flagship Nikons and skeptic of the new exciting stuff. Now I've finally succumbed to the temptation of buying another D3S, and this one arrived last week, and that was about it was a bit under 500 quid from MPB, and it seems to be in jolly nice condition. Shutter count 128,000 and something. So these old beasts are built with a shutter that's supposed to have about twice the life as the standard prosumer cameras. So if you bought a brand new D750, you might that would theoretically have 150,000 shutter capability, and I think a D850 and D810. This is filming on a D810. I think they are supposed to have shutters that are designed not to fail before 200,000. And of course the D4 is the one that goes all the way up to 400,000. But I wouldn't mind betting that the D3 series shutters are probably as robust as the D4 series shutters, as people say. The D3 build is the most robust ever. So it wouldn't surprise me if Nikon just decided, well, the D3 shutters are lasting 400,000. We'll tweak the D4 shutter and make it slightly better even, and we'll rate it at 400,000. So that's just pure speculation on my part. Anyway, the D3S, super nice. It's only 12 megapixels, and as we know, of course, that's absolutely terrible, and all your pictures will look pixelated. That's not the case, is it? That's not the case at all. I've been taking pictures with the D3 and the D700, and I did have one of these before and sold it. So yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty decent as a portrait camera, and this is particularly nice. The focusing is a little bit nippier than the that's not a Silurian, it's Japanese, by the way. A little bit nippier than the D700 and the D3 and the D3X. So the D3S was the last of the D3 flagship series. So its focusing is the best of the lot, and it's got a slightly uprated sensor from the original D3, so it's about a stop and a bit better at high ISO. So you know, that does look pretty good. I mean, I've been taking pictures this weekend at ISO settings that I certainly wouldn't dream of doing on the D3X, and probably for each particular ISO setting, the S is probably about as, you know, gives a stop better look, or slightly more than the original D3. So that's nice. I haven't quite decided whether to keep my original D3 yet. Has 80,000 on the clock for 350 quid. So it's certainly a bargain. But this D3S, along with my D3X, should last me pretty well. I like the D3X because I like the 24 megapixels with studio shots. But having said that, these 12 megapixel studio shots look pretty damn good if you're not doing, you know, if you're not cropping and blowing up a big section out of a picture, but actually framing right. So that's nice. I think I'll probably just keep both. This one I'll use outdoor, and the D3X I shall use indoors. So I did some, I took this street shooting on Saturday, and was quite pleased with the results. Let me see if I can switch on the screen there. You can't really see that very much. There was an excellent smoking vaping lady, and I was very pleased with that. I've got the ISO wrong to see the screen on this, so let's turn that off. It's a bit of a fiasco, isn't it, when somebody attempts to show you something and it doesn't work at all. But it doesn't invalidate what I've said about the camera. Built like a tank, of course. If you're not familiar with it, you've got various autofocus settings there on the outside of the camera on this little thing. You've got the single brackets at the bottom, which is just the single point, which is what I use pretty much all the time, because I don't do sort of fancy sports or action or anything like that. Then you've got the dynamic area one there, where you can sort of set a number of focus points around that it can jump to, and then you've got your area one where it just searches for stuff, and then you can do more sophisticated settings on that. I'll let you look at other people's videos to hear how all that works, because I tend to use them. This camera is just a portrait camera with a single point focus, and it works very well for that. Let's see, so this tiny screen, I've talked about that before in my D3X video, but if you haven't seen that, that's great for doing the ISO. You can see that nice and easily on there with no problem. Button on the left, but the two other buttons, quality and white balance, they work on sort of tiny symbols, pictograms, and my eyesight simply isn't up for that. So what I do is I put the white balance and the quality things into my menu, and then I can just jump and get those to pop up as the first item on my menu, particularly the ISO settings. Sorry, not the ISO setting, the white balance setting. That's easy to do there. The problems of making a YouTube video in natural light is that when it gets dull outside, your picture gets darker, and that's what's happening here. Oh, and we're going the other way, so that's fine. Let's see, so what else have we got on the back here? We've got the multi-selector, which works pretty well for putting your focusing point around the screen. The AF on button, I usually have it fixed on back button focusing, and then on kind of continuous, and then I just get it on the my sitter portrait subject's eye, and then release the shutter. So that's good. Buttons over on the left hand side for menu, and oh, if you don't know about this, how the flagship cameras work is they don't have an enlargement button, they have an enlargement combination with the thumb wheel button. So I'll just show you what I mean. There we go, we get that on. So I actually hold down this second button here under the menu, if I put my finger on that, and then do the thumb wheel, and this sort of blows up the picture. Oh, it's not working, is it? Why aren't you working? Come on, camera. There we go, that's it. So, and it kind of makes a square that moves in around what it's enlarging, and then you can enlarge out again. So that's just a little bit different from the other bodies, where you have a dedicated, you know, plus and minus button for enlarging your image. Oh, what shall we chat about here? We'll just have a look on the front here. Just to show you it's in nice condition, really. Well, I think when I start to waffle is probably when I've said enough. What else? There you have the little selector for single, manual and continuous focus. So that's just another setting that's on the outside of the camera rather than in menus, which is quite nice. Anyway, I think I have probably said enough, and so we will stop there. Thank you. He says without switching off the camera to time with it. So there we go. That's YouTube. We'll have a little bit more waffle, shall we? You know, oh God, you know, all these things you have to monetize. You need to be, you know, asking people to, you know, subscribe and sign up, and it's all bollocks. You know, it's you know, oh, I want to be famous. Oh, you know, like my video. Oh, subscribe. Blah blah blah. Yeah, some people want to do that. I don't want to do that. You either watch or you don't. It's my thinking. So anyway, yes, I will. I will actually turn the camera off now. So here we go.